Okay, I've got somebody that asked me if I could do a Labradorite, I think it's called. And I highly doubt it. I'll have to see what happens here. I'm just going to do as good as I can. It's a pretty cool stone, but the colors look like they have lights on in them, and I just don't have colors to do that. But I do have some pretty cool blues and purples and things like that. So I just thought I'd throw these in here and see kind of what I come out with. So first attempt at Labradorite. Now I've got my black base. I'm using, the lady that wants me to do this wanted a charcoal or a black base, so I went with a black metallic. And right now I mixed it first, poured it out, and just kind of letting it set there for a while, trying to see what kind of designs I can get in it. But I just want it to set up a little bit. Probably halfway through its working time, so that's just about right on this. So I'll get these colors mixed up. That'll take me probably 10 minutes, so we should be just about in good shape. You can see the different effects the alcohol does, just a single color. But the colors I'm using are these translucents from Diamond Coat. And I'm just mixing these two, the translucent blue and a turquoise color, just to maybe give it a little bit of glow somehow. The same way with the purple metallic and the translucent purple, I mix them together. And we'll do a little bit of charcoal veining. And it's going to be a black and silver base, so I'm going to mix a little bit more silver than the rest of these colors. I'll get these mixed up and we can kind of go from there. Okay, here we go on our Labradorite. This one I may be using a brush, so just trying to clean out a brush. Don't really need that right now. So I've got my colors mixed up. Actually the silver, since it's more volume in this cup, it's starting to warm up now since I've got all my other colors. This would be one that it isn't really for countertops, I don't think. You know, it's just too much going on. You'd probably have to have you some help mixing colors and things like that. I think you could pour it in time, but you definitely need help on this one. So she wanted this darker base, and then this rock's got a more of a silver tone to it than anything else, or the piece I saw anyway. So I'm just going to try to add a little bit of silver here and there and see what kind of happens with it. I think I'll cool that back down before I do this. Put some alcohol on it. I don't want too much, it'll make my colors run all over the place. Something like that. I don't know what that stuff looks like, but it's mostly silver on black, so we'll start with that for now. I gotta watch this or it'll get hot on me. I'll dump half of it out, see if I can't save a little bit of it. And we'll let those settle in just a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't all sink. Keep an eye on your other colors. Put your light colors on top, or you won't see them. I'm going to brush this around, so this isn't really the design I'm going for. I'm just trying to get the colors in the right place. Good enough. I'm just about out of that. Oh. Got to keep these colors mixed up on the sides. Try to keep them cooled off, because we're getting kind of late in the working process. Okay, there's not a lot of these colors in it. In fact, very little. Kind of wanted just a spot of this blue in a couple different places if I can get one. I'll brush this out once, and then I'm going to do this again. This one might be a good one to fast forward through. It just takes too much time, but we'll see what we can do. Levi at Countertop Epoxy, he's taught me a lot over there. If any of you are thinking about doing anything like this, I'd definitely go over there and talk to them. It's the classes are very reasonable and great people. Those classes cost him a whole lot more than what he charges, I believe. I mean, the guy's a real good guy. The whole team is. So you can tell right here my colors are still bleeding toward the edges a little bit, so I've got a little bit of working time left, more than I really wanted. They're just flowing out toward the sides. Let some of that silver drip in. That might be kind of cool. Kind of mixed my colors up too much. Yeah, I'm not very good with a brush. I'd much rather use my fingers. Sometimes it just depends on what you're doing. Sometimes a brush works a lot better. I think I can heat this up and get some of those colors back. I don't have too much alcohol on there still. That's getting a little bit better. It's awfully warm, be soft right now. Starting to get cool fractures going in that purple. I just like to get these blues brushed out just a little more. They're awfully fake right now. I don't know if I'm getting close or not. I think I'll let it set up for a while, and then I want to brush it back kind of more over this direction, kind of like this is right here. But it's way too hot right now, so I can hit it with a little alcohol and see what it does. That'll also help cool it down. It doesn't really matter what it looks like right now if you're going to brush over it. So, you know, don't worry about too much unless it's moving your colors too much. You can kind of see right there where it's floating that blue around. Sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not. I'd like to get this hot enough to get some of that black out from under these other colors, kind of boil up through them. And I'm cooled back down enough now. I think I'll heat it up one more time just to try to move those colors a little bit. Well, that helped a lot. I like what it did to this green over here. It kind of fractured it up a little bit. I think I might fracture it some more while it's hot with the alcohol. See if I can't make them move just a little bit more. I think it'd be cool. I think that's just about right for my taste, I guess. What are those? Those colors about as close as I can get to what the real ones are in that stone. This looks a little fake over here. Don't really like that. That's better than just a blob, I guess. I'm going to let it cool down, and when it's 99% cured or done in the working time, I'm gonna give it a little bit of a brush and see what happens. But I think I got the colors pushed out as far as I want to go with them. So now I think this stone has some fractures in it, so I'm just going to put a couple of fractures in here and some dark spots. So now that I've got all my other colors on, I can put this on and they'll really stand out. Well, it's super thick right now. I might even heat it up to thin it down. But I really like that consistency right there for doing small fractures. And I'm going to brush it that way, so just put your fractures on in a direction that it's going to make your fracture look better. And I need a big dark spot here somewhere. That's just about as thick as you want to work with this stuff. Otherwise it'll come over the side and it'll just start pulling it off. Good enough. We'll see. We are all heated up. Try to get some of that air out of there. The thicker it is, the harder it is to get the air out. So work on that a little bit. Okay, we'll let that set up and I'll do a little bit of brushing. I think it's going to be with my hands this time. Fracture it a little bit while it's warm. That one's getting kind of cool if I can finish it off right. There was one I saw that had, it was almost like looking at the end of a log. So you could see the grain this direction in it. If I could get these just a little bit better. Sometimes if you let that alcohol evaporate just right, it'll puddle up, and then when it dries it leaves a line around it. Sometimes it looks good, sometimes it doesn't. That's just the real fine metallics floating around. It definitely gives it a 3D look. This is the thickest epoxy I know of, and that's one of the reasons I like it. Is the 3D is just unbelievable. I know all those other products, they look 3D also. I just seem to be able to get a little more depth out of this one than I do others. So, but epoxy's just cool no matter what. some of this, the translucent green has floated out over onto this side. Probably can't see it, but looks pretty cool. Okay, here goes the fun part. This is that Labradorite that I did, or whatever it looks like now, but the fun part is we're going to just mix up some clear and put some blue metallics in it, just to give that some more sparkle. It might even make I was kind of wishing the whole thing was a little bit darker, so maybe with the bright blue metallic it'll seem a little darker. Anyway, so I don't use a lot of metallics, so this will be interesting to see how much it takes, or how much I should or should not put in. And it goes everywhere. I'll try that, mix it up, see what it looks like. I think that's going to be plenty for what I want to do. Yeah, I could have even gone with just a little bit less, but it's not bad. That looks pretty good. I know I don't want to save any of that, so normally I save it. This is only about 4 hours old on the base, but it's plenty set up to do what I want to do. Yeah, way too much glitter. Man, it doesn't take much glitter at all. Kind of ruined it right there. Now I know. A little glitter goes a very long way. I might keep this sample a little bit hot right now. I want this epoxy to really thin out and flow off the board. I got way too much glitter in it, so I'm going to keep it as hot as I can and let it flow for a while. That's not too bad. A little over 100. Starting to look a little better. But you can watch right along these edges, the glitter just flowing off. That's kind of what I want to happen. Oh yeah, next time, very little glitter. In fact, I might even just blow it on next time and brush it on. Not even mix it in the cup. Go at it just a little bit easier. But it definitely gave it more 3D look.